good people, y'all. Happy Monday and welcome to this week's episode of Everyday People, Everyday Conversation. I am one of your co-hosts, Tiffany D. Collins.
And I'm your girl back live and in color, Tiffany Tifco Joseph. I'm dropping nuggets tonight.
Yes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Anika Roseboro, better known as Nika Rica.
Hey, what up, peeps? This is your boy Bashan out there holding it down for all the men and all the brothers out there.
Yes, indeed. Listen, y'all. Today is special. If y'all have been paying attention, we've been posting about it the last few days. If y'all haven't noticed, y'all, we got our Fabulous Four back.
The Fabulous Four, baby.
The Fabulous Four is back.
Woo!
I know that y'all tuned in last week, and I know it was a good show, y'all. But listen, it ain't complete without all four of us here.
That's
Our Tifco has joined
Tifco
us.
is back, y'all.
Yes.
We are so happy. We are so happy,
This is
y'all.
our first show together in
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the universe just would not let us do this show on Mondays because the weather, it was always the weather for 3 weeks straight. It was
Right.
the weather. But that's because Tifco wasn't going to be able to join us. So she's back, y'all.
God was like, nope. God was like, nope. We need all folk. Press
That's
back,
right. That's
back,
right.
back. But you know what, though?
I
I'm so happy.
Grandmama.
Yes. Yes. And so listen, y'all. Tonight, again, it's going to be special because not only is Tifco back, but we are actually going to interview Tifco on the panel. So this is going to be a show like no other. So go grab you some Kool-Aid, some wine, water, whatever you drink.
Whatever.
Go and grab it because this is going to be a show that you don't want to miss. And go grab some tissue too,
And
because
roll up.
you might drop a little tears.
Yeah.
And roll up. Get your favorite drink.
Y'all hear me out?
Yes.
We have somebody for everybody. So he's talking to his people, she's talking to her people, and you know how and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But we love all y'all anyway.
That's
Yes.
right. So Tifco,
That's
first
it,
I want to start off saying I am so happy to have you back, girl.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm so glad to be back, Nika.
Good. So I know back in December you mentioned you had severe stomach and back pain to the point where you couldn't even walk.
Right.
So which prompted you to go to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Tell us your experience when you were admitted.
Okay, but before I get started, baby, them nails are popping.
Ain't they though? Look at her.
Tiffany Blue.
That's
My nails are popping.
You know what I'm saying?
Nika Rica.
I am
Rica.
done.
So I was really distracted by those nails
Because I was doing all this.
fashion.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
So I seen your nails and I didn't really hear the last part of that question. Can you just?
That's just like Tip to just babe. That's just like Tip to be random, y'all.
The last part
So I didn't want you to run it bike, like they say in Atlanta. Run it bike.
The last part is tell us about your experience once you got admitted into the hospital.
Well, my experience at the hospital. First of all, Tuesday I just said, Lord, if I can just get to my bed, I'll go Wednesday. But when I got home, I did, in fact, go to bed with some pain meds. And on Wednesday, when I tried to get up, I was going to go to the emergency room and check out things and see what was going on because I was in excruciating pain.
Mhm.
I mean, not pain. I'm talking about pain. You know that little chart that they in the hospital 1 to 10, and 10 you're like
you was past 10, huh?
That's why I was at the at that one. And so when I tried to get out of bed, and my back wouldn't support, and my stomach, me to get out of bed, so I fell and stayed on the floor 3 hours, and then I went into the emergency room. When I got into the emergency room, I picked Methodist because, I guess Methodist got the best commercials.
You so tough.
So I'm like, they say they leading the medicine, so I'm like, I want to go to
advertising
the best, baby.
I am done.
Advertisement work.
That's right. So now take it from there. Advertisement work, guys. So when I went into the hospital, after I was seen, they found a couple things that were wrong initially, and they want to send me home, y'all, with some meds, pain meds, and antibiotic to clear up my kidney infection that I had. And for my back, I said, hey, I'm not leaving because I know it's more than that. So I demand to stay. So guys, don't let people dictate your pain and just send you home with no pain. But if you go to hospital pain, at least when you leave, don't leave with pain.
Exactly.
So I refuse to not leaving pain. You know, so I did in fact get a bed and an IV, and glad that I stayed because you know they found out other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Tiff, let me piggyback off of Nico's question just a little bit. So, you said you were on the floor for 3 hours?
Yes, I was on the floor for 3 hours, and I was trying to entertain myself. And my sister is on live right now, and I just really appreciate her because she really kept me from getting anxiety because she did a little chill. Let's go, get your ASS off the floor. And her and her son was, you know, I was able to get to my phone and FaceTime one of my sisters, and she just kept me rolling and talking and kept me occupied all the way until my other sister Paula came to pick me up, and then we proceeded to the hospital. I really didn't want to go to the hospital by ambulance because I have an old house, guys. My house was built in like 1952, and the halls are narrow. And in my hallway, not only is the halls are narrow, I have that antique telephone thing. I don't know if y'all been to your grandmother's house where back in the day you just sit the telephone right there in the hallway at a little stoop where you sit your phone. You know. And y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that in the hallway. The hallway small, and I know the EMT just gonna get you there the best way you can, and they could have caused more damage. So I want to facilitate my own pain and my own pain level. So I was determined to get off the floor, and I did by the grace of God.
Thank you, Jesus.
So it was 3 hours.
My God, my God. So, Tiffany, tell us, what is spine fracture, and then how does that look and make you feel? Because I can imagine that is very, very painful.
Yes. So what they found that, you know, my spine was fractured, broken, and three really collapsed. That's, you know, in 3 places. I had no idea because I had been. I'm such a strong person, and I am, you know, high tolerance to pain. So I just was, hey, just this pain that I'm going to deal with. Maybe I need to lose weight, in which that was it is good to lose weight. So the spine was very painful, if you can imagine, to the point to where it was debilitating. So when I went to the hospital, I wound up staying in the hospital for a week, and then they sent me home awaiting surgery. So I had to just basically stay home and deal with the pain, and I had, you know, nurses and physical therapists coming over to the house. However, it was very painful. So spine fracture is something that, you know, you need to think about, because what I found is that a lot of people have fractures. They walk around with fractures every day,
and they don't even know it.
No idea. You're right, Anika. No idea that they find, you know, because when they looked at my spine, I had fractures up and down my spine that had healed, you know, in the past, and I had no idea that my spine ever was broken.
Did they tell you how those fractures come?
Well, I'm waiting to find out how that. You know, they did do a biopsy, and we waiting to see, you know, exactly what caused my spine to collapse.
And y'all, we had no idea Tiff was in that much pain. She would come in here and still do the show. And then
sometimes without your cane though, like a few times, it's like she walked in here like it wasn't nothing wrong. And then on top of that, y'all, this was going on during the holidays, you know. And then it's also a true testament, because it's like God was also good enough, because you went to the hospital twice, Tiff. And the first time you got out on Christmas Eve, didn't you? And so you got home just in time for Christmas,
right?
And then right after Christmas, then that's when you had to go back and have your surgery, right?
Yeah, they sent me home for that. But remember, prior to that, I went to the hospital prior to that in November.
Right.
Yeah, you did.
Because my back was hurting all
around
that too.
Thanksgiving.
So this was like my second time I was determined to go back. But yeah, I came home for Christmas, and then and I just had to stay home and wait. And that's when you lovely people came by and seeing me. Tiffany brought me breakfast. She prayed for me. She came by. And Anika, I really appreciate you too, because you know, was my confidant, you know. And, you know, there are 3 types of friends, you know. And Anika was my confidant too, because, you know, when you're walking one day and just can't no more, it does something to you mental. And then, you know, sometimes you can deal with pain for a little while, you know, a week. That's long.
That's
2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks, and you're not getting any better. And you don't know, and the doctors don't know. Nobody knew nothing.
Right.
Nobody knew what was making me sick, you know.
Right.
And so therefore, you know, Nika being able, you know, sometimes at night I couldn't sleep because I was filled with anxiety. You know, every time I closed my eyes, I would see ugly things. And
she would text me and say, "Are you up?"
Yeah. So I know a lot of y'all out there got those texts that said, "Are you up?" Because you know, I didn't want to bother people that had to work and stuff like that. But I know Nika was a night owl because back when I used to do nights up talking, I know I had my friends that I can talk through the night, you know, and so I would call her and she would talk to me and she would be sleepy. And when I tell you, she would just come up with random stuff, but she have the best conversations at night. So y'all call Nika.
Call Nika Rika, y'all.
Yes.
I'll put my number in the comments.
Girl, she was talking about everything. And then she would let me fall asleep on her. And she could feel it, and then she'll let me go.
Yes.
You know?
Anika, she is good for a late night conversation because you will hear her yawning. You will hear her, you know. I'm like, baby, if you sleeping, just say you gotta go. Like, I'll be all right. But she will stay on until you end the conversation.
You want to be rude, huh?
Well, I'm gonna make me a salad. Well, I'm just gonna try to go on that. You know, that's her cue.
I'm getting ready to go get me my night snack.
Yeah, that's when she's ready to go.
Don't let it be Wednesday around. Like, hey, well, I think I'm gonna go watch Sisters now.
And Tiffany, you know, I really appreciate seeing your face. You know, when you walked in the house, you know, you came in there. You know, it's nothing like physical contact.
Yeah.
You know, people can call you and say good things, but it's something totally different when, you know, when somebody is sick and down. You remember when we was kids, how our grandmothers used to go visit the sick and shut in, go visit, and they would go, you know, it's something about that fellowship because I think you should go put your eyes on people so you'll know exactly how they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, people have pride too, and people don't want to speak negatively. So you ask them how they doing, they're like, I'm okay. But I thank God for this group because y'all allowed me to say that I wasn't okay. And didn't judge me. And I wasn't okay. And I thank Vashawn, you know, he tipped me real good for when I was dancing on the pole.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Let that pole alone.
I'm done, Tiff. I'm done.
Pole got some glue on it.
And you know what, Tiff? Like, this also piggybacks off, you know, because I think at the end of our show last week, we were talking about how we're family and all of that. This goes to show it's like we are a family. It's like even though we don't see eye to eye all the time, baby, when you need us, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, that's
Period.
right.
Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you need us, we're gonna be there. And I think we'll all do that for each other. And so that's the blessing in it all.
And my epic group guys was there in every way. Physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, they were there in all areas, and it's, you know, they didn't slack. They kept me lifted. Vashawn, you put some great, you know, spiritual quotes, you know, and Bible verses, you know, that I held on to, and I'm serious when I say that. I held on to them.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that I could sometimes.
Yeah, that was the idea because God's word is a lot better than my words.
Right.
You know, I didn't have the words to say, so I just screenshotted scriptures,
right?
Bible app that I have on my cell phone,
and I really appreciate it. It helped me go through the days and the powerful prayers of Tuesday. Like I tell about Tiffany, you know, she pray on Tuesday, and
powerful prayers
so,
too, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got a friend that pray for you, you know, that you can pray with. You know, they pray for you and with you. Baby, it's like none other. I'm telling y'all.
Yes,
but I wouldn't get sick again to get that again.
Yeah,
listen, man.
Tiffany prayers make you want to pass the collection plate.
I'm done with you.
So listen, guys, I just like to say this too. I literally was not walking. I was bedridden. So y'all saw that.
Yeah,
I could not walk on my own.
Yeah,
and it was so painful. But as y'all listening to this interview, y'all find out more things that has happened. I don't want to take over the interview.
Oh, you are the interview.
I'm going to let y'all ask the question, and I'm going to ask. I'm going to be good. Like Mark used to say, you going to be good? Be good.
My goodness.
I know for me, right before I ask you the question, but when I put into the parking lot, I don't know if y'all saw me. I saw y'all ladies walking to the building. I was just watching you walk. I was like, oh man, that's amazing.
Yes.
Because I know, like you said, you wasn't able to walk at all. So I just sat there and just looked and watched, and But I mean, it's like you had never had that situation go on.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, Vio, before you ask your question, can I make another observation? Y'all, Tiffany had surgery on a Thursday and went back to work that following Monday. Now, who does that? I'm sorry. Can't nobody but God do that.
Nobody.
I'm sorry. We got to give it up for
Nobody
God. We got to give it up for God, y'all.
Hallelujah.
Because there's no way, like,
Hallelujah.
literally, if she was walking
She could
the
not
day
walk.
after she had the surgery.
Yeah.
Wasn't walking at all before the surgery. The day after, y'all, she was walking. Come on now. Come on.
God is still in the miracle working business.
Yes.
And it's a song I like to see a piece of it, you know, y'all. And I always sing it. And it was about a woman that was sick and had the issue of blood. And I may not know it all the way right, but it's just a piece of it. There was a woman in the Bible days. She had been sick for a long time. And she heard that Jesus, he was passing by. So she just pressed away. She touched the hem of his garment, and God is still working miracles.
Come on now.
Right now today.
Come on. Yes.
God is still working miracles.
Oh, y'all. Yes.
Just like in the Bible days, he's still doing it today. I am a miracle.
Yes.
And a living testimony. And I'm so glad that I'm alive. And then we'll talk more about the surgery and tell y'all about the new innovative things that they got going on right now. So go ahead.
I think Bashan was
Yeah. It's my the question I want to know. I want you to tell the viewers about the treatment called kyphoplasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kyphoplasty.
On that.
Kyphoplasty is a type of surgery. It's used to treat painful compression fractures in the spine. In a compression fracture, all part of the spine bone collapses. So I'm giving you the definition. This is a wonderful surgery called kyphoplasty. Shout out to Dr. Freyvert, Freyvert. He's a neurosurgeon in the Methodist Hospital. And this man is extremely humble. And I'd say he's my angel, and I told him that. And this man told me, you know, he did, he wasn't nervous. He gave me all of the faith in the world that it would be done, and I'll be walking, I wouldn't be in pain no more, basically, And so with that being said, I got 3 other opinions. And 2 of the other surgeons told me, 2 of the other doctors told me not to do the surgery. Wow. Then a plethora amount of people, of course, didn't want you to have surgery because people have this taboo about back surgery. Don't let them cut your back. Well, they don't cut hardly no more. They got robots and little things that just go in. This thing take care of business, come out, and you go home. So things are don't just listen to the opinions of your peers and people that never even had back problems or never had a problem in their life trying to tell you what they heard or what they think. Go to the doctor, get your opinions, and then make your decision. And we'll talk more about that. But kyphoplasty is a bone cement, and it's the same bone cement that's used in a dental.
Oh wow!
In the dental implants and stuff like that. That stuff is strong, and it fixes things quickly, immediately. It's no time. It just, immediately. So what they do is like, as a nickname, is like a balloon kyphoplasty. What they do is they go in and then they blow a balloon up in your spine and fix the fractures and make you back straight again. It aligns you. Actually, the balloon does it. So once the balloon go in, then they go in with a bone cement and they feel it. They feel the cracks and they feel all the broken spots and all that. And then they come back out. I mean, it's short, it's easy. I mean,
Make you feel better
immediately.
Yes.
It was a 3-hour procedure, right?
It was a long time. I don't remember.
I
was asleep. I know.
I know they knocked you
out.
I think you told us 3 hours.
It was probably, I don't really remember.
Uh-huh.
Those people tricked me.
Got some good maids.
Those people tricked
you know why? Because they didn't even tell me they would put me to sleep. They said, we're gonna make you relax a little bit. I said, okay. So you relax? I said, no.
You have to count back.
When I said no, they said okay. That's all I remember telling them no. And looking around the room like this, I did. They let my neck went one good span from here to there.
And you was knocked out.
Make sure it's a bikini cut.
You know what? Tim?
I was kidding.
I
was gone.
So I know you had no idea that your spine was even fractured, and you just been walking around in pain this whole time. So what does that do to you mentally?
Well, it's kind of scary, because so many things are going on inside our bodies and we have no idea. But we should be in tune. Before I found out my back was fractured, I knew something was terribly wrong with my spine, especially my tailbone. And I had went to so many doctors, had so many MRIs, and nobody told me nothing. But what I did was, and I got to be honest, I asked the Lord. This is the Lord's doing, and He answered my prayers during the season. There's a certain 6-month period, that I had to do something in.
Yeah.
And in this 6-month period, I knew that I said, Lord, I want to get to the core root of my problem. I'm tired of going to this doctor, that doctor, because it gets very expensive.
Yes.
And I said, Lord, within this certain amount of time, I want to be whole. And so you gotta be careful what you ask God.
Yeah.
So between that time, she shut it down, and so I can get answers, and so that He can fix it. But it wasn't fun. And it was, it wasn't fun. But I'm whole today, and I'm walking today, and that's something that I thought I lost. I didn't know what that looked like for me, permanently, and I'm just grateful. But mentally, I started dealing with anxiety. I couldn't sleep at night, so I'm still, my sleeping patterns are still off. But thank God I have a camp of people that knows what's going on, that I can be open and don't think I'm crazy, so I can call them and talk. I have some people never called me before, but they'll call me at 4 a.m, 4:30 in the morning, because they know they know my pattern.
They know you up.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't want nobody waking me up during the night, because if I sleep and you wake me up, that's a bad thing.
It's gonna
too.
be hard for you to go back to sleep. Yeah.
But like when it's time for me to start waking up, but it was hard for me mentally. Anika, you was a witness to that. Tiffany, Vashawn, y'all know that there's a lot of times I cry out to y'all, and my family, my cousin Tasha, my best friend Susan, my daughter. I just want to give a shout out to Jayla Lee.
Oh yeah, she was awesome.
Jayla Lee, she took care of me.
She did.
She took care of me. My baby took care of me. And it's hard when somebody, when you have to clean them and stuff like that. That's not for the faint at heart.
Baby girl, but to listen to them prayers, boy. On Facebook, when you wasn't on Facebook, baby girl, pray for my mama, baby. And when you wasn't answering your phone, Tiff, I said, I'm about to call J-Lo on Facebook.
Yeah.
I said, I'm about to see what's going on. Because I got nervous. I was like, y'all, Tiffany ain't picking up. I said, I'm about to call her daughter.
Yeah.
Then I think right before I was about to call your daughter, you had ended up texting me back. But Jayla was keeping us posted when you wasn't.
But my daughter, my granddaughter, my other daughter, they kept. I didn't want nobody to come around when they had colds, sniffles, and stuff like that. Yeah. So my oldest daughter have 3 little kids, and the best thing she could ever do for me was to take care of them. When she but you know what? They would come and they would make me laugh so hard to where I would sleep good when they come. But I didn't want them to break my back because I couldn't laugh hard. But they would come and say, Nanny, you still walking like this? I was like, oh Lord. But my grandkids brought a nice joy for me too. They were very concerned and texting me and calling me.
That's good.
And they was very, very concerned about my well-being. And I really appreciate my grandkids and my oldest daughter as well.
I love it. So, Tiff, what did the doctors do to diagnose your spine?
Well, what I did was I had a CT scan, and then I had a
did they give you an MRI? Yeah.
And anybody know that I'm severely claustrophobic.
Ooh, you got to go in that machine.
And so they had to give me Ativan, Valiums, all kind of stuff, double.
Oh wow.
And the man there had held my hand the whole time.
So it was an open MRI instead of closed.
I was all the way in and about this much of my head sticking out. So being in that little bubble, that's a lot, y'all.
Like that man holding your hand, giving you comfort. Okay, there's somebody here with me.
Yeah, and I went. He said, "I'll stay with you." But one thing that I did find about MRIs, guys, is that you can bring family members in with you. So they're trying to not only that. Bringing family members in that can hold your hand actually while you're doing it, but they also thinking about other machines, upright machine where you sit up and MRI.
Yeah.
So they are here, but you probably see them more in the future because
Okay.
a lot of people have problems with claustrophobia. Even people that's not even aware that they have claustrophobia, they find out that day when it's time to get in there. They have a machine where the head go in first, and then they have a machine where the feet go in first. You know, and they don't move fast, so you can really have a panic attack. And you know, and then some of them they want to hold your neck down with a harness to keep you in space. So you lock down, you in the machine, and so when this anxiety build up where you just want to get out, and don't get me wrong, they'll bring you out. The cavalry coming, but they on a slow damn horse because that thing, you know, moving this slowly place out. So I'm not trying to scare nobody, but there are options, and you can talk to your doctors. And because I was in the hospital, they was able to medicate me to calm me down.
When I go in, I just keep my eyes closed the whole time.
Some people do that, but I'm too creative. My eyes closed, I start seeing all kind of stuff that make me want to open my eyes. Like, oh hell no!
And you know what too? I can imagine, like, even with the claustrophobia, like, to me, like when you laying down, it kind of when I think of that, I think of a coffin.
You're right.
Yeah,
So and I'm like, no, stand me up. Don't lay me down. Stand me up.
And
I am not no coffin.
It does look like a coffin.
Yeah.
They got the flowers up at the top, like clouds and stuff.
I mean, it ain't even a claustrophobic. I don't want to feel like I'm in a coffin.
And then you know your legs be itching, and they don't
can't scratch.
Legs ain't never itched before until you get up in there. You're like, I can't even get down and reach it.
Right.
Crazy.
Man, oh my goodness.
So I know earlier, Tifco, you was talking about you got what, maybe 2-3 opinions. Tell the viewers how important it is to always get a second opinion.
Okay, let's go down the rabbit hole with the opinions. So when I went into the hospital, my doctor told me that my back was, the neurosurgeon told me that my spine was broken in 3 spots. Had no idea how that happened. We still don't know. So secondly, what I did was I went to my back doctor. I do already have a orthopedic doctor. So when I went in, he told me that my back wasn't in fact broken at all. And I was like, well, why would the neurosurgeon tell me that? The radiologist and all that said it, and he told me basically it was a money thing. You know, like he was just trying to get money. So I was very.
He just came out and said that.
Yeah, he said that's all he can basically think. So basically, I was scared. He was saying that why would this doctor be so anxious to give you kyphoplastic surgery and not even know what's wrong? Because they couldn't tell me and still of what really was wrong. So what happened was, so I took what he said and he put me on some medication which agitated the spine more, my hormones, which was some steroids, which agitated the hell out of me more. So then I was looking for a third opinion, because now I got 2 doctors whom I respect a lot, and they both saying 2 different things. So I said, well, time for third opinion. So this third doctor would be the tiebreaker, would tell me what's going on. So 1, I'm going to see if my back really broken. 2, I want to see if what's the game plan. So this doctor was the pain management given to one of my friends that works in surgery. So she's working surgery with this guy. So he's, and I'm not trying to speak about any of these doctors because I think they was giving me the best of their knowledge and they are all practicing. So, just one just knew more than the other one.
Exactly.
That. So when I went to this doctor, he was a pain management doctor. And he was saying, we're going to get you together. And he just wanted to up some pain medicine that most of the other doctors were saying, no, we're not going to keep giving you these because these are highly addictive pain pills. This guy just upped it up, and I said, okay, he pain management. So he don't care about me. And I'm not supposed to be addicted to no pain pills.
Right.
So that's one thing that I held against me. And then when he said, yeah, your back is broken. It's broke. It's here. And so he confirmed that. So I asked him a question. I said, Doc, who would you listen to between an orthopedic and a neurosurgeon? He said, a neurosurgeon. I said, that's okay. So the neurosurgeon said, do this. So when I went back to see my neurosurgeon, now mind you, these doctors, I got to go through all these tests. It's money until I ran out of money. And so when I get back to Dr. Favorite, he tell me, well, this is our objective. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is going to take you out of pain. This is what, and my main objective is whatever is going on with my body. I want to be walking.
Yes. So
if whatever's wrong with you can't stop it, so you might as well fix it.
Right.
So and I was confident in that, and they gave me all the confidence to go ahead with the surgery because I'm listening to everybody. Don't let nobody mess with your back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Meantime,
was
your
my
back
next-
killing you.
Yeah, I said
And-
yes.
Gotta do something.
Yeah,
And that was my
Yeah.
next question. What made you decide to go ahead and do the surgery? You want to walk.
yeah. I wanted to be
Right.
out of pain. I was in chronic pain, and I don't know if anybody know what chronic pain is. And it's not chronic pain is something that you constantly in. You constantly have to medicate yourself. You never cannot be under medicated. It has to be medicated. It has to be. You have to babysit this pain.
And you don't want to.
24
You don't
hours.
want to live being addicted to pills. I always taking pain pills.
Yeah,
Right,
And I
right.
refused to and never would. So hey, after surgery, I didn't have to take any more narcotic pill. Not
See?
one.
See?
So I just get over the counter Aleve, muscle and back. That's all I take. And if I take it, I've been 2 days without it.
Praise, look at God.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, like, y'all, Tip, again, it ain't even been a couple of weeks since Tiff has had her surgery. Well, how is it that she already walking without a cane,
Without a
Mhm.
cane.
driving, going to work all day, like she ain't just got cut into, y'all? Like, who
Mhm.
does that? Like, this
And
is the fastest
It-
turnaround I've
yeah,
ever
it went
seen.
so fast because she went from not
Yeah.
walking at all.
At all.
They witnesses.
At all, y'all.
They were
at
there. They
all.
came. They
Yes.
come.
And I'm like, how? But before I go any further with my question, I'm going to just address a few comments that we have here. So we have Andrew K. Slay. Oh, he laughing at when you said I'm too creative. And then he said, "On God." And then let me see. Y'all
Yep.
looking good, Black Queens and King. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Oh,
Andrew.
thank you,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Thank you for the love, sir.
Peace.
Appreciate you. And then we have he also said doctors are in practice, meaning they're still practicing, meaning
Right.
they
Yeah.
make mistakes or
Right.
miss things. Hint. And then we have Glenn Comper, love it, real talk. And then Andrew says exuberant, fam, blessed. And then Mr. Donald Owens, is what happened, son? Enjoy your trip, love you. I guess you made it back a little soon.
What up, Dad?
Okay. Andrew says
Oh,
that's
man.
still a drug that can become addictive.
Yeah.
Store bought or not. Yeah, that's true. And then chronic pain is no joke. I have chronic pain every day. Yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
God, I'm praying for you, Donna Owens.
Yeah.
My heart really goes out to people like that because I told God that's not what I wanted. I had
Mhm.
physical therapy, and that's a part of it too. A lot of times when people have surgery, they don't deal with the physical therapy. They don't want to do it, and you can't alleviate that. So it's hard, yes, but I'm in record breaking time. Matter of fact, my
Yes.
my PT doctor said, "Slow down. You're
Yes.
too anxious. Slow
Cause I'm sitting
down."
up here like Tiff
I'm like-
driving that big old truck like it ain't nothing. I'm like,
Whipping up in
did you
here.
just have surgery?
Right.
Like, shouldn't you be chauffeured? Like, what are you
Mhm.
doing? Oh, hey, Sharita. Sharita chimed in too. That's my national pageant director, y'all. But yeah, Tiff pulled up on the side of me in that truck, and I'm just like, didn't look like she went through nothing, baby. That is this right here. What you looking
A
at is a
living
prime
testimony.
example of she don't look like what she been through.
Right.
down.
Exactly.
She don't look nothing like what she been
Because
through.
they can
y'all.
pull out some pictures of how I was looking though.
Yeah. But we
wouldn't
won't
do that
do
to
it.
you, Tiff.
I
We
don't
won't
care.
do it.
We wouldn't
I
do
don't
that to you,
care.
Tiff.
No,
We
no.
love you too much,
I was
Tiff.
look like on Color Purple. I was looking mighty bad. I was mighty low. But then when I seen you from Sealy, I knew that was a God. That's a God.
I am done.
Oh,
Oh,
So
man.
my
my sister
God.
say it was a money thing for him. Yeah, that's what. So when I got back and I started talking to God about who to believe,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I said, well, the pill doctor just want me to be on pill and be on that hamster wheel, so
Yeah.
he can keep me going to the pain management doctor. I said, nope, I never came back to him no more. And the other doctor, maybe my orthopedic, I'm just assuming that he was probably mad that he was not going to be the one to perform the surgery, and he was trying to get me back into his
Yeah.
camp or
Right.
whatever. And then he did make sense. He said, let us find out first before we start fixing.
Mm-hmm.
So, he wasn't all the way wrong. It's just that I was ready to move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so I didn't have time for. I mean, I went with the man that had the faith and was
Mhm.
ready. And the things that he said to me was very good, and I was ready. And he knew that he said I did new X-rays and it's still the same. So let's fix it.
Right.
That's good.
So, what are things you can do to help and prevent fractures?
Well, first of all, to be honest, posture is very important, guys. You'll be surprised how our posture.
But it's so comfortable to just do this.
To just
you know,
lounge
to just
like
lounge.
that.
You know what I'm saying? It feel good.
But you know,
Sit up like this.
since my back injury, you know, I'm upright, you know, kind of more because I baby this thing, and I have a brace on my back, which I keep a brace on my back at all times to keep me, you know, straight.
Posture,
They keep me straight. The posture is very important, guys. Posture important. Also, you know, exercising, stretching,
Definitely.
And some things in regards to fracture has nothing to do with you physically breaking. It could be other illnesses that make your bone, like degenerate diseases in your bone, that make them extremely fragile.
Because my bones are very weak and fragile. But
Yeah,
one other thing, my wrist. It took a long time for it to heal, y'all.
Yeah.
It's healed now?
It depends on if I twist it a certain way. Like if I'm opening this up, it kind of like pop out of place.
But you haven't wore that little thing in a while.
No, I've been wearing it every day. I just don't have it on.
You don't have it on now.
I don't have it on now.
Okay.
I'm trying to show out. You know.
Oh, you trying to look cute down there?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Trying
saying?
to show them nails off.
So you you have to do that.
What I was gonna say was, and I heard about this on the news. Protein, getting your protein in helps with
vitamin D
and vitamin D too, all of that
and stuff like that. So basically you have to do that. So but the degenerate diseases and stuff like that, where your bone is already fractured, something as simple as a cough or a sneeze can actually fracture your back.
Yeah, because it's it's like your body do like this when you sneeze.
So I should have known something was going wrong because my body told it not to sneeze anymore. So I couldn't sneeze no more. So when I get ready to I go, because my body said you're gonna break.
Yeah.
So and then they have some type of 12-month injection that they have now that strengthen your bone almost back to
really
Superwoman. And this what I have in my bone is like a renewed bone. I have a back now that's made with cement.
Wow.
Ain't no breaking that.
Bet your boyfriend happy about this strong back.
You know what?
Think about it. I think he was the one who broke my back.
Look, you ain't gonna break this one. You ain't gonna break this one though. You ain't gonna break that cement. That's for sure. Oh, that's hilarious.
The Halo Blue Diamond, thank you for tuning in to this live, and thank you for thinking of me. You're a great friend. Thanks to my Uncle Michael who was praying for me big time. Thank you, Jamie, who prayed for me and stuff like that. She the first person made me cry. And she said, you could have let me sell them pills. And thank you, Anisha, Martha, and Jamie. You know, I call her. She cried like Wanda on Good Time.
Oh wow!
I could just see her face. Like, I said, "Come on now, Jamie. Now I ain't dead."
Oh my God!
She cried like Weeping Wanda, baby.
I am done.
Don't do me like this. At work. Jamie, at work.
And I want to shout out some more people that tuned in. So we got Amanda Allen watching.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. We got Maxine Wiggins. We got Leon Potter.
Hello.
Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all.
Wait, we got some more. We got Marcella Hill, my sister, y'all.
Hey.
We got Gary Roseboro.
Hey.
We got, we have Eric Nelson.
Hey.
Keisha Nelson.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
Ronza Cowan.
Hey,
come on now.
Marvin Bennett.
Hey, Marvin, my ex-co-worker.
Carol Lynn.
Oh, we got
Charlotte, Alabama.
Oh,
we got Tanika Curry Ray. I used to work with her. Toshiba. We got Yanni Bug watching. And LaKenya Owens.
Come on, Miss Owens.
Yeah. And we got John Montreal watching. Thank you.
John.
Thank you, John.
BWI in the house.
John said God is a healer and a redeemer.
Yes, he is.
I want to send a shout out to John and all of them at BWIF. They really show love. That's my other group. And they, Joan, boy, she would write me and text me. She'd shoot me some cash and everything, y'all. Ain't God good? Just shout out to everybody. Any more questions, guys?
Oh, let me give a shout out to Dolores Irby. And,
hey, Dolores.
All right, Dolores. All right.
Thank everybody for tuning in. If you're just watching, if you're liking or you're commenting, thank you. We love y'all.
Definitely. Yeah. Earlier you mentioned physical therapy. How's that going? And tell the viewers how important physical therapy is.
Mhm.
That is so important. Every time you start feeling better, you want to stop all your stuff. Physical therapy. See, when you have a when your like back is compromised, then the other parts of your body have to build up. So what sustained me was my arms. I used to have to use a lot of my upper body strength to get off that floor. And then now that you got to babysit the back, you have to make sure that the legs are strong.
Right.
So and thank God that we have a body. So to compensate when other things are down. So physical therapy, I still do physical therapy to this day, and now it's almost like she more like a trainer now.
Yeah.
It's like God,
Yeah.
she get me ready for the
Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, up, down. She told me, you gonna hate me when you leave. I said, I don't hate nobody, but you on the threshold. You right there. You right there.
Oh, man.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get fined, y'all.
Wait till at first she was saying it was too easy.
Yeah, that's what I was telling myself. I don't want her to come back because this
She ain't challenging me.
Yeah, I said this ain't good. She must heard me somewhere.
Wow.
She came in that
Now
door.
she saw how fast she was recuperating. She's like, nah, this ain't nothing. I'm finna put it on her.
Baby, she had that bike out there. She said, get on this bike.
Come on.
And I was on that bike, and she said, weights. She just put them weights on. I need these weights on every day, so I got to walk around with weights on my legs
That's
every day.
good.
Baby,
good.
she get me ready, and I really appreciate it. I said, I want to work with you. But when I look at her body, job, when you got somebody built like that working with you, you listen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to listen to you.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you because you are 38, 26, 38, however them perfect numbers is.
Whatever them perfect numbers are.
But physical therapy is important, y'all, to to take care and maintain yourself. We must, the cardio, walking, we must stretch our bodies, and we must, do some type of resistance.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's very important.
Before we move, my dad said, Tifco, don't stop, keep going. God got you.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. He does. I know for a fact that my God has me. And thank you for that confirmation because he saved me, a wretch like me. I was on my back and I couldn't do nothing but look up at God. I couldn't do nothing but cry out to God. I could do nothing but, to ask him to save me, to help me, and he did. And again, God is still in the miracle working business, so that I can do the things that he has said. And I say, God, I know you're not finished with me because there's so many things that I still have to do for the kingdom. And so many things you have ordained me to do. So many visions you have given me, they has not come to pass yet. So I knew, and that would help me. I knew that I still had work to do. And and it was just a season. And this season is for a reason. And I just had to realize it's just a season. Everything, he's gonna give me everything back that the locusts and the cankerworm took away. But it was just so sad, and I could just think about memories and just like a shout out to my daughter who was battling with her own mental thing to see me in that condition, almost about to faint one day. And if you love your mother, that's a painful feeling to think that my mama was getting ready to die. The many tears. I became a songwriter, y'all, while I was gone. I was making up songs.
Oh Lord, I'm scared.
You remember when
Lord.
y'all one?
Oh, that one. Okay, I'm about to say, what you finna sing?
When are you gonna be ready to go on the road? I think I can book you some shows.
Okay.
For real.
My goodness.
So
He go. Somebody asked how your daddy look, Rashawn.
I look exactly like my dad.
Oh,
wow. My goodness.
We look like twins.
Really?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how my dad looked. I got this from him.
Okay.
I'm too
I get it from my daddy.
But we're so glad y'all tuned in with us today. Just to hear a little backstory. This is just a testimony, and this is just a time to reflect because when one of us hurt, we all hurt.
Yes, Lord.
And so, I'm back, and I'm glad that I came back to welcome heart and welcome arms, and to be able to get down into it with y'all on different shows. So we interview so many people, but we go through things too, and we're worthy to tell our story as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Looks like Dirk Richardson just chimed in. He said, "Hey y'all, hey Dirk.
Hey Dirk,
Hey,
I love
Thanks
you,
for
Dirk.
chiming in." Yes, man. Tiff.
Any more questions? Anybody in the audience
Tifco.
like to talk?
Well, Tifco, I have one. So what is I know before your pain level was like probably past 10. So what is your pain level like now?
Well, my pain level, is just say that I haven't taken medicine in 2 days.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
So this is just a week, a little over a week since the surgery, and I'm to where I'm not taking pain. Y'all remember this kyphoplastics, KYPHO plastic, PLASTY. I mean, it's a non-invasive, surgery is not really bad. I have 3 little circles that they went into my body and fixed my body, and it's with glue. They glued it back. I don't even have a staple or stitch or nothing in my body. And
That's
when
good.
I woke up, I had to do 3 things to be released. I had to eat, I had to urinate, and I had to walk. And they sent me right on home the same day after surgery.
Wow.
Back surgery.
Baby, that morning when Tiff went in, it's so funny, y'all, because I say this all the time. I'm the baby, but I am the baby mother hen, okay? When I tell you I was checking in on Tiff at like 8 o'clock that morning, I was like, Tiff, as soon as you get out, check in. When Tiff didn't check in, I'm looking to see, okay, when was she last online? Do I need to call Jayla?
Yeah.
I'm like the mother hen, but she got home that same night. And I'm just like, how? And then went to work Monday. Like, who does that?
Went to work singing. She called me just singing. I said, "Oh, Tiff, you having a good day."
A wonderful day. It don't take God all day and no light.
Okay.
At night.
If he gonna do it, he gonna do it.
He can
it
do
ain't
it
nothing to
suddenly.
it but to do it. I'm just saying.
Suddenly.
Yes.
He just wanted me to get something that was prolonged, that has been done, been going on in my body, that no other doctor they wasn't finding it for whatever reason. So now this doctor found it, and I asked God to do that for me, and He did, and I thank you, Father God, for that. Thank you, Father God. I thank you for wiping the tears from my eyes. I thank you for the heavy burden. He's a burden bearer, a heavy load sharer. He's everything, and then my father, who was really concerned about me, same compression fracture he had from a car wreck. And I'm like, oh Lord, maybe this can work for you, Daddy. Because he never walked again.
Wow.
Basically after. So
you can be inspiration to your daddy, because as long as he's still breathing, he can walk again. What you mean never? He's still alive,
and he can have the same surgery.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And I like to thank God for, like you said, when you was on that floor, that He could have put you in any position, but He had you facing up.
Yeah.
So you can talk to Him.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank God it wasn't downward.
Right.
I ain't want to talk to that.
Yeah. God is so wonderful. When it's time for you to sit down and listen and talk to Him, He'll put you in the right position.
And I was just basically saying, because we got a lot of things coming up. A movie, Jamie's movie in March.
Yeah.
I've been in 3 fantabulous films, that I want to be on that red carpet in February. That's all I was thinking about. Hey, I got to be ready, because I got to be on the red carpet, baby. I got time to be playing.
About it.
And then I just really want to thank Gerald, my significant other, who, was there. I was to the point where I had to use a urinal and bed pads, and he would, every night during the night, even though he had to get up at 4:30 in the morning, all during the night, he have to get up and deal with my mental, deal with my physical, and that's love there, when somebody stick around, even when you at your lowest. So I appreciate you, Gigi.
So Tiff, I'm sorry, you want to ask another question?
Oh no, I had a comment. Go ahead and ask the question.
Okay, so Tiff, during those times, like when you couldn't move, you have to be like 100% depending on somebody else. Like, I know that did something to you, to your pride, to yourself, just being a woman. Like, how did that make you feel? Like, somebody got to help you with a urinal. Somebody got to come bathe you. Like, how did that make you feel, Tiff?
Scared. It's scary because you don't know how long people are going to do it. Sometimes people start off, like I said, this was a long time, a long period of time of being down. So, I've had fear, like, what if, anxiety. But my daughter, she would come and sometimes just stand beside the bed, because I didn't want her to move, because I was so afraid to be alone, because I knew that I couldn't move. And she would do it, You know,
Mhm.
she would
Yes,
just stand
absolutely.
there. She would just stand there, and I thank God for the patience that He gave her to just
Mhm.
stand by my dead bed sometimes just to say, Jayla, I'm scared.
Baby, I'd have got me a pillow blanket. I'd have been laying right there.
I tried to make her get in bed, man. She wouldn't.
I'd have gotten in that bed. I'd be like, I'm
she
sitting
got
between you and
She didn't
Gerald.
want to hurt you. You know.
Probably.
Yeah.
She got in there one time, but she just stood there.
Mm-hmm.
Just stood there, and when I dozed back off, she'll walk off.
Mm-hmm. That's
And-
love.
and she'll just wait for me to call her again. And it's something. But I just tell you this: be careful how you treat people when they down, because it's not forever, and you don't know when you will be placed in it. We never know
You
when
never
it's our
know.
time.
That's the
you
word.
Yeah.
You know, because I would have never thought this could happen to me. I was just on the show. You know, I was just talking to people like,
Literally, it's like everything went downhill after that last show we did in December. It was like that Tuesday. It was like a trickle down effect,
right?
And I'm just like, oh man, like what's
The
going
last
on?
show was December the 18th.
Yeah, and after that, it just went shoo with Tiff.
And so what I'm saying is, you never know what's going to happen to you, but just be. You know, when somebody's already going through, watch the words you say to them.
Mm-hmm.
Have patience with them. You know, my friend Susan, when I tell her, she had so much patience with me. She took me to my doctor's appointments and things of that sort. Shout out to Net. She, brought me good Christmas food and gumbo and dropped off food and stuff like that. But I really say, when people down, the most important thing that I think I love the most was the actual physical contact, able to see you and for you to be there with me. Now I know, more. I knew before in the past as a child, but now I know how to go that. Just go sit with them.
Just go sit with them, yeah.
And just be there, because people don't want to be alone when they're, especially if it's something really, really bad.
Yeah.
So
I have a comment. Joan says, when we are weak, God stands up in us and show Himself strong. Yeah.
I have a comment over here. Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, and Tifco, when you prayed at that meeting, Joan also said you ushered in the Spirit of the Lord. She said, "Thank you, Jesus." She said had her speaking in tongues. Almost went in, but had to realize it was a meeting.
Yeah.
But I tell you about the complexion plate.
Yeah. You're talking about me when I prayed.
Yeah.
Because now your prayer becomes more serious and intentional.
Yes.
When you down and you can't depend on nobody but Him.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes God got to remind you that, because we get so distracted on our boyfriends and girlfriends and
then we get comfortable too, though. Yeah. We get comfortable, like when everything, going good in our lives. It's like, okay, we good. But it's like when trouble come, it forces you. Like, I'm pretty sure, like them nights when you was laying in that bed, it's like, okay, you had nothing else to do but talk to God.
Right.
Yeah. That's all you could do. And it's just like, not saying that you didn't do it before.
Think on His word.
Yeah.
His promises.
Yeah. It's like you were forced to do it. You would do it on your own, but you were forced to do it. And I just, sometimes, like, God take us there to like get 100% of our attention. He puts you in those uncomfortable positions because He wants all of us,
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, you need to be still to hear.
Yeah.
But to listen, not hear, but to listen to the Lord. That's why most of the time He puts us in a situation to make us still and everything. But I have a comment from LaKenya Owens. Hey, Mrs. Owens, how you doing?
Hey, LaKenya.
Hey, LaKenya.
She says the healing process is easier when you have that support system.
That's so true. That's so true. And Tiff, you had that.
Baby, listen.
I did.
Yes.
I did. I had some close friends that didn't give up on me, didn't get tired, didn't talk to me crazy, that knew that the patients. I had some to say some things, It was some people that,
There's some crazy things.
And I hope them people ain't like here no more, are they?
Crazy.
Well,
knowing Tiff they are.
Well, I had to, think about it. I said, I'm not gonna let it hurt my feelings, but I said I'm not gonna think no way about them, because people don't handle people that they love in pain easily sometimes. Sometimes they say little things because of this or whatever. But I just tell you this: whenever you do for somebody, you do it from your heart.
That's true.
And if you ain't gonna do it wholeheartedly, don't do it.
Don't do it at all.
Because guess what? The people that you're doing it for, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
don't
know,
do it out of
think they don't.
obligation.
Yeah.
And if you gonna fuss while you're doing it, keep it.
Right.
Keep it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Not
saying.
grudgingly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
fuss while you're doing it, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, do it grudgingly, think about,
Mhm.
I was just in this situation a month ago. Ain't nobody come over there for me. Well, then if that's how you feel, don't come over here.
Don't come over here. It's like, so you're doing it so basically you're
For
trying to,
sure.
you're doing
Mm-hmm.
it, okay, to make yourself feel good,
Yep.
but then you resenting me maybe because I wasn't there or whatnot. Then again, your heart ain't in it.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's not about you. Like,
Yeah.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's horrible.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey, Krishandra James just chimed in. Thank you for chiming in, sis.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hey, Derek Haynes.
I have
Hey, Jax.
Daryl Wells
Mm-hmm.
over here, Tyron Perry.
Hey,
Hey, Tyra.
So guys, thank y'all for coming. I just shared my story and I'm so happy that y'all all tune in. And today I hope that I can let somebody know that God is still in the miracle working business. And also, hey, hopefully y'all got some tips on how to treat people when they're down. Also about, recap on getting a second or third opinion, letting God be the final choice maker. You will know, just listen to the Holy Spirit that's in you.
Yeah.
Also just get you some friends like me. Don't be jealous.
Mm.
Also we want y'all to
Oh,
tune
man.
in
Yes.
next Monday because we back and we ready to talk to y'all.
The
Yes,
Fabulous
Ingrid.
Four is back,
We
y'all.
back, baby. We back like never before. We got one more person that chimed in. We got Cora Williams that chimed in. Thank you, everybody that chimed in. If we missed somebody, charge to the head, not the heart, but we love everybody, all of our nonstop support. We love y'all.
Oh, one more shout out to Tawana Williams. I missed her. My
Baby,
home girl. I
So
got
y'all all in the house, huh?
y'all came
Yeah.
in thick. When y'all saw we was gonna interview Tiff, y'all was like, we got to chime in tonight. That's what I'm talking about.
They missed them nuggets.
And we hope we didn't put y'all to sleep. But before we go, we're gonna sing our song. Everyday people, everyday conversation.
Everyday people, everyday conversation.
If it was right for me.
We bring laughter and fun. Hot topics for everyone. Everyday people, everyday conversation.
Hey, y'all heard that harmony?
Coming to a town near you.
We're going to get a record deal.
Yeah, all right.
Yes,
Coming to a town near you.
yes. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, y'all. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in.
Oh,
Till
man.
next time, we love y'all. Peace.